Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to have you once again in this session. Today, I'll be talking on data sources, right? The different sources we can get data for our data analysis project. Now, I'll just be listing down five. We have other sources, possibly other sources of data, but we'll focus on these five. And even these five, I'm going to be discussing with you. You may not be using everything, right? That is why, as a data analyst, you should have area of specialization or your industry that you are focusing on. You can't just be a data analyst everywhere. But I'm not saying as a data analyst you cannot handle other projects, but the domain knowledge is really very important. That's why we have healthcare data analysts. We have people into transportation. We may have data analysts into sales and marketing. We have HR data analyst. In fact, different companies specifies the data analyst roles whenever you're applying to. Now, that aside, let's go back to the data sources we have. Number one, we have this public data source, and we can obtain those data from government websites. And most times, usually for first world countries, things are a bit well organized. Let me use that. So not all countries have data. Sorry for saying this, but that's possible. You can't really track their data. And even if you happen to track, there are lots of error in those data. So, but why I'm listing government, UK government, is that they are well structured, right? So I decided to put this data.gov.uk. We also have data sets from international organization, World Bank, right? You also have for open research sites. I commonly use this Kaggle. Kaggle is a very powerful data source platform. I use we also have Google data sets. We have UCI. This UCI and Kaggle, they are top repositories for data set. Obtaining data sets. So we also have where you can get data sources from internal company data. So within an organization, we have the sales and the finance department. Also have customers and HR department. We have operations and inventory. So each of these departments have data is generated, right? So you can obtain data as a data analyst from this. So if I'm a HR data analyst, I can just walk up to the department of HR and then maybe request for data, right? In companies, or what you do, or even as a data analyst, you may not be working with a single data set. So you can combine two data. For example, the sales department, usually the HR and customers are actually this, because HR have access to customer records. Now, for sales, most times you'll be merging data sets together. So you obtain a data set from this department, obtain from here, then you find key linking columns or unique ID for maybe a customer, right? I don't want to digress, but I just want to point out something that you can join two data sets together using a column that is unique to the both of them. For example, we may have a customer ID from the data set obtained from customer and HR departments, and we may have also a customer ID, right, from this sales and department. But the customer ID, there are unique keys where you can use to link these two data sets, because sales departments, they focus on transactions, right? How much the customer spent, what is the profit for the organization from this problem, right? From what is the product purchased. But then customer department are not really focused. They are just focused on the customers, your first name, last name, where you are from, your phone number. So those things, you can't really use those information to carry out sales analysis, right? So it's important that as a data analyst, you learn the concept, the techniques of combining data sets together to carry out analysis. Then also we also obtain data set from web and online data. Google Analytics is one of the Google's programs or software or services or apps that we use in tracking users' interaction, user metrics. As you use your mobile phone, Google search engines, you open a page, how long did you spend on that page? All right, which phone did you use? Is it a mobile phone or a laptop? From which location? So all these metrics are being tracked by Google, and we call it the Google Analytics. So from that data set, you can use that as a data analyst to get insights for, let's say, a blogger. I want to know how his website, or how, if it's really performing well, and to know how to write content and target people that are in certain locations. So getting to know this location, they really love my content, this particular location, right? People use mobile phone often to access my design. So I should try to design my blog for mobile responsiveness, so to be able to fit into mobile phones, because more people accesses my website using the mobile phone. I hope that's clear. Now, same thing goes for social media insight. So from this data, the way you like, comment, the data is generated, and Facebook uses data to recommend you posts, like posts that you like, content that you engage on. So that's it. Also, we have for web scraping. I won't talk on web scraping, is beyond our concept for now. So for online surveys, how online survey works. So we also have for academic and research data. Now this is for people that are into academics, right? Then we have file-based sources, comma separated values, Excel. You can manually type and generate your data in Microsoft Excel, right? We also have data generated from your Google Forms, right? Google Forms, as people fill the form, data is generated, is linked up to Google Sheets. From there, you save it to your Google Drive, you download it, and move it to your Excel. And you can even generate your data. Maybe just create a Google form, post it on your WhatsApp, send it to a group, ask them to fill out basic information about their opinions about something, right? Put some options, multiple selections, and you don't necessarily need their email addresses. So just to make it anonymized, right? And then use it for a project. So these are the different data sources we have in data analysis, and I believe we understand this topic properly. If you don't, you can ask your questions. I'm super excited to have you once again. See you in my next class.